thing to do here with the camera. Light over to the next one. Sit it down flat right across the middle of the bore. And that is where you have a blown head gasket. Move it to the next one. That's where the light is. No gap. Little bit, but that would probably live. I wouldn't do that on a big high compression nitrous motor or blower motor, but on a motor like this, that would work. Still not acceptable. Another little gap might work on a motor like this. Still some half-assed redneck shade tree bullshit right there. I don't run that right there. Got the light right here on the end. End is flat, no gap. Let me try to show you some of these grind marks. This right here, this is all die grinder. It's all scarred, scraped up, almost looks like they used a stone on it. Get this light right. This ain't easy. You can see right here around this hole where they took the meat out. I don't know what they were thinking, but they took a whole lot of metal out right there. All the way across. They did the same thing right between the cylinders. It's hard to tell on the camera, but if you see the color difference, I don't know where am I at here. This is the low spot. This is high, this is low, this is high. This is the gap. That will not seal. Same thing on this side, except it looks like on this side they hit this with more of like a sandpaper flapper wheel. Wasn't quite as abrasive, but still you don't ever touch the deck of a block unless you're using a true machine that decks it perfectly flat. Cylinders, these kind of half circles you see down here, those are the rings not seating. And this one you can see all the grooves in it? That's from a home job. That's recent, that's not old. So someone took this motor apart, they honed these cylinders, put new rings in it, took a die grinder to the deck of the block, threw it back together, threw it in their ride, and probably had no idea why it completely filled up with coolant and wouldn't even spin over. There's more cylinders. Most of the damage is down at the bottom. Bottom of the cylinders is always the worst. That's where it has the most horizontal load from the position of the crank. Pushing from the top down, it's going to wear down onto the bottom side. I have not mic'd these yet, but they probably need to be bored. Lifter valleys full of rust. All of them full of rust. Now that's a pretty realistic texture of their grind job. How it looks is how it feels. Fucking trash. Crank's not too bad. It does have some scratches. Hold on, let me get my zoom here. Crank does have some scratches. You can feel them with your fingernail. It would have to be mic'd. It might be able to be polished out, or it's gonna have to be turned. It's not too bad though, actually. Definitely usable. All the pistons. Yeah. Crank it up and go. Run like brand new. Bearings are a little dirty here, but the bearings are actually, they're not too bad. I was surprised, but I guess that goes along with the rebuild that they had done to it. Most of what's going on in the bearings is just from a dirty assembly. Had a little dirt in there, and it just scratched the bearings. The bearings are really soft, but the bearings are good. None of them were knocking. None of them are showing copper. Anytime they show copper, that's a knock. They're trash.